Hey there, I'm MMA strength and conditioning coach Eric Wong, and in the next few minutes, you're going to be let in on three simple principles that will give you explosive power and endless cardio by training less than you ever have before. I know this may sound ridiculous, but I'm going to show you exactly how in this presentation. Then we'll all be crystal clear, so stay with me. These principles are already transforming the fitness levels of UFC fighters, amateurs, and guys who train simply for the love of the sport. Not with some magical supplement, the latest hardcore tool, or a brand new fighter endorsed doohickey. This is happening through the application of exercise science and the trial and error that comes from being in the trenches training real fighters on a daily basis. If you're a fighter, you'll use the principles in this presentation to rapidly elevate your power, allowing you to execute explosive takedowns or end the fight with one big punch. You'll also be able to tap into this power over and over, giving you total confidence and, more importantly, the ability to go the distance and beat guys who may be more skilled than you but can't match your superior level of conditioning. Or, if you train MMA as a hobby and you have no intentions of fighting, you'll develop your skills faster and have more fun in your classes because you'll be able to train harder and longer and you won't be stuck on the side catching your breath. And that's just for starters. So watch the short presentation to the end and you'll be rewarded with these three simple principles that you can apply to your training today to get faster results while training less than you ever have before. Now, you're here today because you want more power and better conditioning. You wouldn't have found this site if you didn't, right? But the problem is that all of the information out there in magazines, forums, and on the web can leave you a bit confused. And unless you train MMA as your full-time job, you don't have any time or energy to waste on ineffective workouts. So you've got to make sure every workout counts. But before we continue, you might be thinking, can I trust this guy? Well, no, don't just trust me, but watch this entire presentation, then decide for yourself. The fact is that the principles I'm about to share with you have already been proven on fighters I train, guys like Claude Patrick, who's on the rise in the UFC welterweight division with 2 straight wins and a 13-1 overall MMA record, Ray the Hitman Penny, who was afraid to go the distance before he started training with me, but after 4 months, he won his next fight by unanimous decision, and his next fight after that he won by knockout 8 seconds into the first round. And Jeff Joslin, who made his UFC debut against Josh Koscheck and took the tough welterweight to a judge's decision. Now, when I first started working with Jeff in 2006, I discovered that even though he was successful, his strength and conditioning program had serious holes. As I started working with more fighters, I started to see the same patterns over and over. The first problem I found was that most fighters are winging it instead of following a structured program. Without a program in place, there's no way you can make consistent progress and get optimal results. You probably hear this all the time when you show up to the gym and hear a guy asking his buddy, "So what do you want to work on today?" This will not produce results. Imagine you've been training with one of the top MMA teams for the past 2 years, like Greg Jackson's camp, and you have a fight against a guy who's been winging it on his own with his buddies in his backyard for the past 2 years. Who's going to win, you or him? For optimal results, you must know the exact exercises, reps, weights, number of sets, and rest periods you're going to use. You need a program that builds on what you've previously done. What's the old saying? Fail to plan? If you said plan to fail in your head, then you've just shown that you already know this. But are you doing it? If you're not, don't worry, it's not your fault. The thing is, you've never been shown how to do this in a way that's easy to follow and incorporates everything you need. Once you know exactly what you're going to be doing each session and over the next month and the next 3 months, you'll be more focused and motivated and you'll dramatically accelerate your progress. Not only that, but certain attributes must be developed before others. So even if you are following a program, if it's not put together in the right order, you're leaving results on the table. Doing the right things in the right order doesn't take any extra energy, but it will give you better results. And here's the first principle in action, the principle of periodization. Periodization is basically a fancy term for doing the right things in the right order to achieve your goals. Periodization is saying you're here, this is where you want to be in 12 weeks, and this is exactly what you're going to do every workout to ensure you get there. If you're a fighter, following a periodized program will allow you to work towards your fight so that when you step into the cage, you're at your physical peak and you have 100% confidence in your conditioning. If you train for fun, you'll be able to continue to get results because unlike other programs, right before you hit a plateau, the workouts will change, and the different exercises and routines will keep you interested and motivated. In a nutshell, periodization will allow you to get the fastest results possible. Are you with me? Great, let's move on. I'm sure you've seen a lot of bonehead exercises being done in the gym. You know, like squats on a Bosu ball. Enough with the damn Bosu ball already. Leg extensions, machine shoulder presses. I could go on and on and on. But there are some sneaky exercises that might seem good for MMA but aren't. For example, punching with bands might seem like a good idea, but when you break down the mechanics of the exercise, you can see that it's detrimental to your game. Here's why. 3 bad things happen. First, when you throw a punch, you want your arm to be relaxed and more like a whip and snap it out there. But when you punch with a band, your arm is tense and you tend to push instead of punch. 2. When you train punching, you throw through a full range of motion. But when you punch with a band, you tend to limit your range of motion. And finally, 3. When you punch for real, you train to pull your arm back as fast as possible so you can throw the next strike or defend yourself. But when you punch with a band, the band pulls your arm back instead of you pulling it back. So you detrain this ability, making for slower combos and more holes in your defense. Plus, it increases your risk of injury since the muscles that usually pull your arm back shut off, allowing you to throw your arm out of its socket. Now, this is what happens when someone with no foundation in how the body actually works looks at a sport and tries to create a training program for it. They get you to mimic the skills of the sport with added weights and resistance. Doing this will totally screw up the mechanics and timing of a technique you spent hundreds of hours mastering, wasting all of that time and hard work. Your strength and conditioning program should train your muscles and nervous system to be stronger, faster, and have better endurance, but should not try to mimic your martial arts skills. And this is the second principle, the principle of specificity. If you want to be good at punching with your fists, then train with punching with your fists. Don't train punching with weights or bands. Your strength and conditioning program develops your muscles and nervous system. You then take your new, improved muscles and nervous system and use them to hit harder, be more explosive, and be fresh for 3 hard rounds. So we've talked about what you don't want to be doing. Now let's talk about what you must do to get in incredible shape for MMA. MMA is a complex and demanding sport. Let's face it, you wouldn't be here if you already had all the cardio you want. Your strength and conditioning program must be equally complex to match the demands of the sport. To truly develop endless cardio requires a multifaceted approach, just like how being successful in MMA requires striking, clinch work, takedowns, takedown defense, wrestling, grappling, and more. If you are going deep into the woods, would you rather have a Swiss Army knife or a butter knife? And that's exactly why your strength and conditioning program must include many different components so that you're a well-rounded fighter who's ready for any type of fight. For starters, you've got to train the 3 energy systems, the aerobic, anaerobic lactic, and anaerobic alactic. Not only does each energy system need to be trained specifically, but we've got to train each for both power and endurance. Next, you need to train the muscles in 6 major movement patterns and accessory movement patterns required by MMA. The 6 major movement patterns are the squat, deadlift, lunge, twist, push, and pull. Exercises must be chosen to balance these movement patterns and prioritize the specific demands of mixed martial arts. Next, Bruce Lee called the core your center of power, and he was right. Your core is where you develop your power to knock your opponent out with one blow. Many fighters train the core using sit-ups and crunches only, leading to an imbalanced core. Proper core development includes training in all 3 dimensions and different positions other than lying on your back, including face down and standing. You must also train the 8 biomotor abilities: strength, speed, power, agility, endurance, flexibility, coordination, and balance. And that's just a small sample of what you need to train to get in incredible shape for MMA. Now, you might be a little bit overwhelmed, and maybe even more confused, but stick with me, because I'm about to give you a program that incorporates every component you need to make lightning fast improvements in your strength, power, and cardio. The bottom line is that you'd need to spend years and tens of thousands of dollars studying this stuff to get it all right. Luckily for you, I spent the time and money, so you don't have to. But before we continue, there's one more principle that makes this all work. If you're like most of the fighters I train, you probably have a job, school, or other priorities that limit how much time you can spend in the gym, not to mention your MMA training itself. That's why this last principle is key, and it's called the principle of least effort. This concept states that you should use the least effort to get the desired result. Now, this doesn't mean being lazy or not giving 100%, but organizing things in an intelligent and structured way that allows you to get the results you're looking for without wasting any time or energy that you could better spend training MMA or even just chilling out. In fact, if you're one of the guys who doesn't put in 100% and is afraid of hard work, please click away right now, because this program will not work for you and you won't get any results. But I know that you're probably here because you're interested in being the best mixed martial artist you can be, whether you're a pro, amateur, or you do it just for fun. By following these 3 simple principles, you'll develop brute strength, explosive power, and endless cardio, while training only 2 days per week. That's right, by following a structured program that's based on science and proven inside the octagon, you can achieve your physical potential while training only 2 days per week. The 3 principles you've just discovered will ensure you're doing only exercise that you need to be doing in the right order with built-in progression week to week, month to month. And now comes the really good news. When I started working with fighters 5 years ago, I didn't have enough time to train all of the fighters who needed help. So I was challenged to put together a program that incorporated all of the elements you've discovered in this presentation, but more importantly, was easy to follow. This program had to help guys just like you get stronger without slowing down, get more explosive and powerful without getting injured, and develop endless cardio to make sure you never tap out because you're gassed. Talk about a challenge, especially for guys who enjoy taking punches to the head and getting choked out. Luckily, my degree in kinesiology gives me the scientific foundation needed to analyze the sport and determine the physical needs. And because I'm in the trenches training fighters on a daily basis, I use my foundation in exercise science to create a program you're about to discover has been tested and proven to give you explosive power and endless cardio. There's no magic supplement, no hardcore tools, and I won't allow a fighter to endorse the program unless they've actually used it. The end result of a couple of years of testing and tweaking is what I call the Ultimate MMA Strength Conditioning Program. It's an MMA-specific, periodized program based on science and proven inside the octagon. It's designed for fighters who want to get in incredible shape and can't afford to waste any time or energy on ineffective workouts. Inside this program, you'll get my closely guarded 4-phase periodized training program, which will show you how to peak your strength conditioning perfectly for your fight so that you're powerful from the opening bell to when your hand is raised. 8, 12, and 16-week programs to follow to ensure that there's absolutely no guesswork involved. The simple and powerful training templates that I use to track my athletes' progress and ensure they're getting results. A program designed to improve your fitness without being too tired or sore. If your program causes too much fatigue or soreness, it'll hurt your MMA training. You'll get a more injury-proof body by incorporating exercises to balance the demands of MMA and keep you from missing valuable training time. You'll also discover my patented energy system complexes that will help you feel like an animal and you'll be able to go the distance with confidence in under 30 minutes of workout. You'll also get my MMA-specific dynamic warm-up to prime your body for maximum effectiveness in every workout you do, and a lot more. Now, you might be thinking, but Eric, is this program easy to follow? And the answer is yes. The Ultimate MMA program makes use of standard equipment you'll find in any gym. Every exercise, rep, set, rest period, and everything else you need to know is outlined on the same easy-to-follow templates that I use to train my pro fighters. Not only that, but every exercise also includes a pic, description, and video that you can download and follow along with on your computer or your iPod. This is the closest thing you'll get to having a coach who's been inside the octagon in your corner. Now, let's be frank for a moment. You're here because you want to improve your fitness for MMA, and you need clarity about what to do that will get the results you desire. The bottom line is that the Ultimate MMA Strength Conditioning Program will eliminate the confusion and show you everything you need to know. What would you invest right now to have just one physical attribute, like strength, power, or cardio, drastically improved over the next 60 days? Just one. $100? $200? Well, you're not going to pay $200. Here's the thing. I wanted to make the Ultimate MMA program affordable for every mixed martial artist out there who's serious about getting in incredible shape, so GSP money is not required here. The Ultimate MMA program retails for $97, and that's before I decided that every MMA fighter should be able to get the help they need cutting through the misinformation and hype to finally get their hands on something that works. And that's not all. You know that training is half the battle. The other half is how to fuel your body so it performs like a Ferrari, not a Ford. That's why if you act today, I'm going to throw in my Nutritionitsu program that will show you exactly what to eat to achieve optimal performance, vibrant health, and a lean fighter's body. On top of that, I'll toss in my 7-day quick start guide to Nutritionitsu that shows you exactly what to eat, how to prepare each meal, and even comes with a grocery list so you can march over to the store and buy all of the ingredients you need for the week and get started on your new body right away. Eating right couldn't be any easier. Now, I know what you're thinking, what if it doesn't work for me? Well, you're fully backed by my 60-day no-holds-barred guarantee. If you don't get in incredible fight shape and start hearing positive comments from coaches and training partners within 60 days, simply email me for an instant refund, no questions, no hassles. I know it'll work for you, so that's an easy guarantee for me to make. This program has already worked for hundreds of others. For example, Andrew recently emailed me saying that he wasn't sure if it was psychological or not, but his grappling has improved loads and people have commented on this. Well, if others are commenting on it, it's definitely not psychological. Sandro emailed me saying that the training templates save him a lot of time and he says the science of the program is spot on. Michael reports that he's stronger and has more energy and he's improved his punching power, kicking power, and all ground maneuvers. And the last email I'll share with you comes from Julian in London, who told me that he beat his personal best in all major exercises, bench, pull-up, deadlift, and squat, while losing 4 kilograms. That's about 9 pounds. And now that he's got a fight lined up, he's looking forward to putting his new conditioning to the test. These are just a small sample of the hundreds of emails I've gotten from guys just like you who've gotten great results with the Ultimate MMA Strength Conditioning Program. Now, let's get to today's price. The Ultimate MMA program retails for $97. And when you consider the fact that because this program is periodized, you'll be able to cycle through it over and over and continue to achieve incredible results, that's beyond a bargain. But today, because you've stuck with me and I respect the fact that you've invested your time in properly educating yourself, you're getting the Ultimate MMA Strength Conditioning Program, the Nutritionitsu Manual, and 7-day quick start guide for only $57. Isn't $57 a small price to pay to develop explosive power and endless cardio and get the chiseled body of a top UFC fighter? But first things first, Ultimate MMA is only for athletes who are ready to take action. If you're not coachable and one of those know-it-alls, this program is not for you. You have to be ready to be coached by someone who's taken guys where you want to go and put in 100% effort on a plan that you know works. So if you're an action taker, and you better be because this presentation is coming down very soon, then look below this video right now. Join the fighters who've taken their strength conditioning to a new level by clicking the yellow Add to Cart button below and get started today. Once you complete your order, you'll get instant access to the program in digital format, no waiting for the books and DVDs to arrive, and no outrageous shipping fees. Just click the button to get started today. Let me put this into perspective for you. I charge $100 per hour to train with me in person, and today you're getting 8, 12, and 16-week programs that include strength training, conditioning, power, flexibility, literally everything you need to get in top shape for MMA. I also charge $197 per month for online coaching, which will get you 4 weeks worth of programming. Not to mention you're getting my nutrition guide and meal plans. This really is a no-brainer. I mean, for less than the price of one of those fancy Affliction t-shirts or a night at the bar, you can get everything you need to develop explosive power and endless cardio and do it all in only 2 days a week, saving you precious time and energy. Do I need to ask it again? What's more important than eliminating the hype, misinformation, and confusion and getting a complete program that you can get started on right now to get in the best shape of your life? Click the yellow Add to Cart button now. By acting today and only through this video, you'll get the Ultimate MMA Strength Conditioning Program, Nutritionitsu Manual, and 7-day quick start guide for the super affordable price of only $57. Hold on a second. You know what? I'm having fun with this. So I'm going to make you a limited time offer and give you 2 special bonuses. Consider a gift to all the guys who put their skills to the test in fights and tournaments. The first bonus is my no sweat weight cutting guide. This guide has helped my fighters lose 10, 15, and even 20 pounds starting 1 week before fight night. Sweating in the sauna or on a bike with a garbage bag on is not only unsafe but can also leave you drained of energy before your fight. Instead, you can safely cut by following the nutritional tricks outlined in this guide. You'll not only avoid the sauna, you'll also have more energy for your fight. If you currently sweat before a fight, this guide alone will change your career forever. After the cut, I show you how to put the weight back on and do so in a way that will leave you feeling energized when it's your time to step into the cage. The second bonus you'll get is my ultimate fight prep warm-up. When I first started cornering fighters, I noticed that their pre-fight warm-ups were pathetic, and they entered the ring physically unprepared to fight at their potential. You don't want to be too tired, but you still need to have all of the muscles ready to go and your nervous system primed for maximum power, so you don't gas out early. So I put together a warm-up that's outlined in this manual and video that will guide you through the process of getting 100% prepared to have the best fight of your life. These two gifts will ensure that you leave no stone unturned, and you can step into the cage full of confidence. To recap, you're getting the Ultimate MMA Strength Conditioning Program, the Nutritionitsu Manual, the 7-day Quick Start Guide to Nutritionitsu, and the No Sweat Weight Cutting Guide and Ultimate Fight Prep Warm-Up for the low price of only $57, fully guaranteed or your money back. But this discount is only available today through this video, so act right now because it will be coming down very soon. Click the yellow Add to Cart button below, and I'll see you on the other side.